How's that?
Looks good. And hello and welcome everyone. I tried to keep it less than a 7-minute countdown and failed. I have, let's see, zero idea if anyone can hear. Right now, let's cut this over real quick. Yeah, okay, so go ahead and say something, Jeff.
Hello, Matthew. How are you tonight? And greetings, everyone. Can you hear me?
I can.
Hopefully they can hear me.
Yeah, hopefully they can. Yeah, my volume might be low on my end, which I can fix just a little bit there. That should do it.
You sound a little bit like you're in a concert hall. Just
A
a
little,
little bit.
oh, a little bit like I'm in a concert hall. That is unfortunate. Maybe if I bring that down a little bit. So, fun
that's
news.
better.
Yeah, okay.
Although you're a little bit lower now.
A little bit.
Volume.
Okay, that probably fixes that. Okay, so hey everyone, you may recall that a while back my main computer died, and I finally fixed it. So I'm back on my main computer, but I had to change stuff. Like I had to reinstall everything from scratch. So, you know, I'm pleased that Jeff came in fine. That was my biggest concern, that I was going to have no audio from Jeff and be chasing my tail around trying to figure what's going on with that. And they're getting echo. Yeah, so the echo thing will be fixed now. It's because I was listening on YouTube. It's a thing. Does
sound fixed?
Yes. Roxanne is saying muted. No, not muted. Nice try. Yeah, there's a young McCrab girl with lost parents. Please come to the concession booth. No, we're all here. Eventually. Sorry for missing last week, by the way. I got the, I'm just going to start calling it COVID or cold vid. I got the cold vid or the flu vid. Thomas is saying it doesn't sound fixed. Well, it's probably going to be about as fixed as I can get it today. But, you know, it's one of those things. I went to the doctor and they're like, look, we could do a flu test and we can do a COVID test. I said, okay, if I come back positive, what can you do for me? They said, nothing. I said, then no, I'm not going to take either test. That's stupid. But as a result, I mean, I was over it by Tuesday, basically. But by the end of the night, like I got lung problems, I got asthma. And so by the end of the day, it's as if I've been working out all day long just from having to breathe. And so like, I'm just exhausted by the end of the day. And it's like, it's just hard to talk by the end of the day. So there's no way I was going to be able to make it through a stream. I'm just barely at the point where at the end of the day, my voice is just completely spent. And like, I've been like drinking lemon tea with honey and throat lozenges. And it's one of those, it's just a weird thing. Like, it's not that you're feeling sick anymore. It's just you're not feeling not sick either. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can understand that.
And Thomas is saying he's hearing me echoing still. Really, Thomas? You shouldn't be hearing me.
You still have that concert hall sound, just a little bit.
A little bit of a concert hall sound. So I can't really hear it. I mean, maybe that will help a little bit. So it's hard because I can't hear it. But I'll try and figure out what's going on by the next week so that it's not super doing it anymore.
Oh, Matthew, I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
I will not be around next week.
Oh. Okay. So no stream next week. But hey, you know what's coming up quick now? A virtual pub.
Yeah, I saw that message on Discord.
Yes. So for those who don't know, I didn't know that Thomas had already seen this series before. And I thought Thomas was going into every episode rather blind like myself. And so I made a bet with him foolishly.
You did?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. I foolishly said, hey, how about I make a bet about the White Star? And I'm going to assume that, the standard trope of you get a super strong vessel and it's able to take out all the enemy ships and it seems untouchable. And then at some point in the series, the ship gets really damaged and someone has to come and upgrade it. You see this happen a lot in like series such as Gundam and Escaflowne and Battleship Yamamoto. Even doesn't it happen at some point in that?
Yeah, it does.
And and yes, rock solid. I am a proud Kurogan. Though we dearly miss our beloved leader, Kuroga stands strong. Uh, and yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was going to be severely damaged, and it was. I was right. It was severely damaged.
That's one way to put it, I suppose.
Yeah, it was severely damaged into its individual atoms, and but the bigger issue was it happened in the wrong season. I said it would happen in season 5, and it done got blown up in season 3. So I lost that bet.
Matthew, Thomas wants to know if I'm bringing him a 100-inch TV next week.
Are you?
Well, if the Techno Mages put back together the White Star in season 5, then I'll bring him a 100-inch television.
Maybe spoiler there for me then. So yeah, and Texas is saying that Yamoto was battleship and Yamamoto was an admiral. Well, I'll be surprised that I was close and completely wrong when it came to a name. I think we all know who I am at this point.
I think it's pronounced Yamato.
Yamato, the battleship?
Yamato, the battleship, yes.
Okay. I actually haven't finished the Star Blazer series.
Oh, you're missing out.
I know. I forget what episode I'm up to, but something came up and I just never got around to finishing it. Hey, Robert. Yeah, so it is honestly very hard for me not to keep watching ahead on Babylon 5. But I'm being good. I only watch it during this hour each week. Well, I only watch the next episode. I watch the past episodes as much as I like. But I only watch the current episode. Yep. But hey, so I lost the bet with Thomas. So January the 1st, New Year's Day at 9 p.m., we're doing a virtual pub. So look forward to that. It's been ages since I've done one. Hey, Wes, how you doing, man? So yeah, virtual pub, January the 1st, 9 p.m., just like old times. I honestly don't know what we're going to be talking about. Like the thing of the virtual pub was during the height of the COVID, I put this on with Michael, and we just opened the doors on Streamlabs. I put the link so anyone who wants to can join, and we just talk about nerd stuff and we debate Star Trek and all that good stuff. There's plenty of shows for us to be talking about at the time. We kind of have a dearth of good sci-fi series right now, I feel like.
Ain't that the truth?
The closest thing we get is Andor. And
I have not seen Andor. Have you?
I haven't. And kind of the reason I'm holding out on it is I'm just so worn out of the current state of media. And everything in Star Wars is just so blah to me. Like the bad guys are actually good, the good guys are actually bad. There's no right, there's no wrong. That's not what Star Wars was to me. Like Star Wars always was how there was good in the universe, and the responsibility of the good was stand up to the bad and fight it against all odds. And so the new morally gray stuff, it's not super interesting to me. But I've only heard good things about it, and so I feel like I actually need to step up and watch it.
I should watch it too at some point. I know Mercer really likes it.
And Melphasis, there's another one, the Fallout Season 2. And yes, Thomas, no politics. That was a rule on the pub. We didn't talk politics. We didn't talk COVID. We only had fun hanging out as a bunch of nerds. And that's still my rule. That you don't have to bring an alcoholic beverage to be on the pub, but you do gotta leave your politics at the door.
Oh, so my Pepsi is all good.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and since I stopped doing the pub, I've had to go gluten free. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be bringing, but it's maybe I can make a Moscow Mule for old time's sake. That'd be kind of a fun drink to have. And it's alcoholic. It's gluten free. It's not alcoholic free. I guess I can make a virgin Moscow Mule somehow.
Rock solid. If you want a Pepsi, pal, you better pay for it.
If you can find a Pepsi free anymore, I mean, more power to you. Wes, can you...
There's only mini soda is allowed.
And Wes wants to know, can he pass out drunk on the floor? We have no, he didn't pass out drunk, but LDG did collapse to the floor at one point, and it is my favorite. I still have the clip of it, of him in the middle of a sentence. He leans back in his chair and it just snaps on him, and back he goes. It was beautiful.
Well, at least he didn't get hurt doing that.
Yeah. Sorry, Rock Solid. No tabs. Everything has to be done in cash. And Michael will be joining us, the anti-trekker. I got to talk to him the other night, and he's going to come back on and salty trekker.
Oh, salty trekker. Okay.
Yes, my apologies. He's always going to be anti-trekker to me. That's how I met him.
Me too.
So if you don't know Michael, back in the day, he did a hilarious breakdown of The Force Awakens, where he came up with his objective subjective quality meter, in which he had like this whole grading system worked out for good, meh, and bad, and at the end he'd come up with this 2 out of 5 turds or 4 out of 5 turds or whatever he came up with. But it was great stuff. He did take it down. The kind of community that was around the Force Awakens movement. What did they call themselves? The name of
the
yes, them.
The one part of the phrase is escaping me.
Yeah, it was
Fandom Menace.
Fandom Menace. Yes, that's it. The Fandom Menace. The Fandom Menace people, the head people, kind of got stuck in a rut where they became popular being genuine, and then they kind of followed the algorithm. And
I kind of liked The Force Awakens, actually. There were parts of it that wasn't great, but it was the best of those 3 movies.
Oh, easily. Yeah. It's a movie that unfortunately suffers retroactively. Like once they made the next 2 entries in the series, it kind of retroactively, now you had all the context, like here's all the answers, and the answers kind of made the setup not work. Anyway, it was a thing, and they kind of went too far in it, and Michael was like, ooh, I don't want to be associated with this group of people anymore, as I recall it.
Yeah.
So he took down those videos.
Traveler saying it was The Last Jedi that Anti-Trekker did a review for.
Was it that? Oh, you're right. It was the Mary Poppins Leia one. Yes. Thank you, Wes. You're right. And then he also had a Borg series that he was in the middle of, and I think we're racing to see who will finish first. Me with Nomad, or him with his Borg series.
Or your Voyager reviews.
True.
Thomas wants you to create an intro for the virtual pub that
Mm.
has scenes from the past virtual pubs.
Oh gosh.
But
Uh,
then he says, you're not gonna do it, so
it's true. It's true.
it won't get finished."
And I at least need to do the next Voyager. I enjoy doing those. It's just,
We're having fun watching season 6 right now, Monday nights.
ooh, over on
Omni's is showing them.
Omnis.
Mhm.
Nice. That honestly, I kind of run out of free time. I've gotten a lot more involved at my church, and kind of my free time goes toward that. And also, starting a year ago, I actually started to work at a physical building for the first time in, I don't know, 7 years. I think it is, maybe 8. But it was one of those things where, I mean, I've talked about this before. How I I've always had ADHD, and it was one of those things where, you know, my dad taught me to control it through lots of discipline whenever I didn't control it. And, you know, as a result, I managed in life. It wasn't easy, but I managed. And then post COVID, you know, something changed after that, and I just couldn't manage it anymore, and it got really bad. And like I got into medicine finally for it, and it's amazing. For the first time in my life, I was able to sit down and spend the whole day working and just be able to focus on a task. And my entire life, I've never had that experience. Eh,
I'm glad that really helped you.
oh yeah, it's been tremendous. And I got on one that wasn't a stimulant. I'm a little concerned about stimulant ADHD stuff. Um, like my mom, she actually had some guilt. She's like, "Oh man, I wish I got you on this stuff sooner." But back then it was all Ritalin, which are all stimulants, and there's like some long-term health issues with the
Mm,
heart on
yeah,
being on Ritalin that long. So I'm very thankful I didn't have that growing up. So I got on one that helps the brain be able to receive the dopamine you already produce. And so it's been very beneficial. Um,
Omni
uh,
says Dr. Franklin would prescribe the stimulants.
yeah, Robert, I did. I got disciplined a lot. But I'll also say this. I joke with people about this often, that you could tell a lot in my family by how we responded to discipline. Like my little sister, my dad would start to discipline her, and she'd be full repentance, you know, and not just, "Oh no, I'm about to get disciplined." No, like full on, "I am sorry. I won't do this again. I understand it was wrong, and I'm not scared just because I'm getting in trouble for being wrong. I recognize how wrong it was, and I'm not going to do it anymore." Meanwhile, I was the kid who, like, you know, I'd get disciplined and I'd look at my dad and be like, "Is that the best you've got, old man? Because I can take 10 more easily." And so like
Wow.
I did not, like, it took a bit for me to hit repentance. Um and so I'm very thankful that my dad kept up with it. And I'm very thankful that my dad didn't give up on me, because I was not the easiest of children. Uh, it was made worse because I would be the kid that I'd see like a sign that said, you know, employees only. And I would go, "Oh, why?" And so I'd go back there to see what was behind the sign uh, that made it only
We're learning a
employees.
lot about Matthew tonight.
Yeah. And so it wasn't that I was going out of my way to be rebellious in those moments. It's just that I was not making intelligent life choices, and it made me a difficult child. Wes, you should come by for some Texas barbecue again. Come by before the next solar eclipse. Yeah, rock solid. I'm conservative. I don't have a heart. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. It's at least what I've heard on the TikTokers. You know, Texas, I didn't try to be a wild child, but yes, I was. I definitely put a lot of gray on my parents' head. And yeah, Omni, repentance means to turn away from. You're going one way and you turn the other.
It's very true.
But the point is, as I was taking this medicine, um, I realized that I needed to be in a physical building. I hadn't been working full time, and it was time to sit at a desk. It was time to have a traditional job, to be working that 40 hours a week. And so that's what I've been doing the past year, which means, I have a lot less free time because I'm actually doing work. And with what free time I do have, I don't really have time to do Voyager stuff. Maybe I hope that someday I can do it again. I hope that someday I can do some more home assistant stuff. But for now, at least, the free time I have, it's set on things of more eternal value. Rock solid. Saying go to work is for chumps.
A traveler says, "Have you hit anyone while you're on your bike lately?"
I haven't, but mainly
That's
because
a good thing.
I haven't been able to be on my bike lately.
Well, maybe that's not a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I wish I had been out on my bike, but it's been probably about a month since I went biking. Just between we had some rainy days, it's been getting colder, and then being sick. Like I could go out tomorrow. I get to work remote on Wednesdays, and I try to use my lunch hour to go biking, but honestly, like even now, I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I can hear that my voice sounds slightly different, and that's because like
I noticed.
my chest still has some gunk in it.
Other than the effect that you're in a concert hall.
And that's
Just
still going
just
on.
just actually, it's better.
Huh.
It's much better, I think, but
How weird. I'm honestly not sure what's going on with that one. Yes, I
figure
sound
it out.
different with audio problems. Well, how about we go and jump into this a little bit?
Interesting. Well, jump into this. Sheridan jumped
Oh,
into a hole, a well.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Uh, and Wes, are you moving to Texas? Slash when? I'm a big proponent of people coming here. Most people.
Most people.
Most people. I recognize that there's different cultures out there, and if someone wants a very gun-free liberal state, hey, I'm glad for you. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You go enjoy that in your state. I like my state being a little different than that.
Me too.
Yeah. And Gary, you can come. You can leave the frozen tundra of your homeland and come to the beautiful melt your face off Texas summers. I think they're great. And yeah, Thomas, I know they. So I actually have a uh, a bike stand that lets me exercise inside. And like I can adjust the resistance levels, and I can do all sorts of stuff with it. And I have a tire design to go on it. I can't do it. It's so boring. It is so boring for me to be in the garage and just stare at a wall for an hour. Like I've tried watching TV shows or something. It's just not the same. I like being out there on the road. I like having to dodge the trucks. I like running over the little old ladies. It's all part of the experience.
Need a holodeck.
Exactly. You moved? When did you do that? It's almost as if I don't get to talk to anyone anymore because I don't do virtual pubs. Weird. So, Jeff, did I have a prediction about this week's episode?
I don't know. It's been so long. I'm
That's been
trying to
so long.
recall. Yeah, well, I think you were saying that this would be the gathering the people to go and attack Zaha Doom.
Yeah.
So we will join the episode at the end of that call to go out as they are about to go to Zaha Doom. They will be touching base with all the characters catching up with Jakar and Londo on Centauri Prime and see how Jakar's handling the torture. And before he will escape, he will lose his right eye, you predicted,
Oh
on the
yeah.
future. Yeah. We will see the camaraderie grow between Jakar and Londo as they are going through this, as Jakar is going through the torture, and Londo has this deal with him to take out the Emperor and freeing Narn. We will touch base in this episode with Garibaldi, with him dealing with where he is, dealing with the Psi Corps, the care, or whatever you want to call it, that he's receiving from them. He wants to get out and get out of there. Next week, or this episode, I should say, would be great for Buster to show up, you said, with he and
Mm.
Garibaldi having this antagonizing relationship. By the end of the episode, Garibaldi will want to stay with Buster to see what's going on with his memory. You predicted. We'll also touch base with Sheridan with what he's going through now that he's has to gone to talk with the first one breathing life on his ember and bringing him back. But you also said that the piece of Kosh is half the problem that Sheridan's facing. And in this near death state, he will have a dialogue actually with Kosh. The episode will also make sense to have a cliffhanger, you stated, but they won't end the episode with them arriving over Zaha Doom. You got a little mishy-mashy towards the end of this prediction. You
I
said that they
did.
will not end with them arriving at Zaha Doom. Are they going to go to Zaha Doom and end the episode, or just before the battle? They will. You said that they will end with the battle, and that will benefit Sheridan to get to the surface to be eventually rescued. But he won't quite be rescued in this episode that we're going to watch tonight. Then you change your mind that they will be heading to Zaha Doom at the end of the episode, not actually get there. The comment about how cautious people can split off parts of them, you said it makes sense. You wonder if there's only one Vorlon who cuts off piece after piece after piece of itself. And this is why Posh is angry with Lita, because she couldn't save Kosh. What's your prediction?
Sorry, I'm going to be doing that. I'm still wondering about that one. I could definitely see it being where they do cut bits and pieces of themselves off. That most of them, at one time, like I could see it being there was a wide variety of them, and it came down to just the one. And honestly, I think it'd be a really interesting idea. I don't think this is it, but I think it'd be a super interesting idea if it turned out that both the Vorlons and the spiders are just fragments of one person. And that person, as he split himself off, he had half of his personality going that way and the other half going that way. But I'm pretty sure they've already like really crossed that one off the possibility list. There was that Justin guy at the end of last season when Sheridan blew up the Zahadum city, where he was talking about how two races stayed behind, the Vorlons and the race that y'all guys call the Shadows. So that one is very I think I can write that one off, but it would have been interesting.
Okay.
Thomas, do I want to make a bet on that? No. Thank you.
Josh Street was talking about a bet with your prediction on how the Shadow War will end. You want to make a bet about that?
No.
No? Okay.
So
You mentioned that about, I don't know, 15 minutes ago.
Oh gosh, what was my prediction? That I kind of think that both sides are equally bad in the end, and that we would be better off without either one of them trying to be shepherds over us. That you have the path of the people who ask, "What do you want?" and you have the ask of the people who are asking, "Who are you?" And then what was the third question? The one that was introduced by
Why are you here?
Why are you here? Yeah. So I think it'd be interesting if
Do you have anything worth living for is another question that he had.
yeah, okay, yeah. he did ask that at the end of the episode. But I do think it'd be interesting if they kind of combine those two things, like the races that are left right now, kind of realize that it's not an issue to ask what you want, and it's not an issue to be asking who are you. That you need to recognize who you are so you can appropriately evaluate what you want. The two things kind of go together hand in hand. That when you divorce what you want away from who you are, you just get a greedy narcissist. And when you divorce who you are from what you want, you just get someone who is a mindless navel gazer. But when you really understand who you are, and through understanding who you are, you apply the concept of what do I want to that, well, now you have someone who is actually pursuing something that hopefully is for the betterment of mankind. So I think it'd be interesting if by the end of the Shadow War, humanity and the rest of the races around them kind of realize, like, hey, you know what? We're better off not letting either one of you guide us. But we'll see. Because there's got to be some big final showdown between all the people aligned with the Shadows and all the people aligned with the good guys. Well, the people we're calling the good guys, but they're really not. They are good in that they're not trying to get everyone to kill each other, but at the same time, they are doing genetic modifications to us so that we can fight their war. They are inserting themselves into our history so that we worship them, basically. So, I don't know. They're the good guys by default right now, but I don't have a lot of trust for them, especially with this Posh guy.
Yeah, he seems to be kind of how do I say it politely?
He really came off as an abuser.
He definitely is. I don't know if you saw in the chat, Jill Gerard passed away. He played Buck
Oh,
Rogers in the 1980s.
I didn't see that. No.
Rock Solid just put that in the chat. Thomas wants to know, Sheridan is bad?
Did I say Sheridan is bad?
I didn't hear you say that, but
Is there something I said that would have implied he was bad?
I didn't pick up on it. But is he bad?
I certainly hope not.
Rock Solid says because you ignore his chats like a good Kurogan. Thomas said you said both sides.
That
well,
both sides are kind of bad.
The Vorlons and what we call the Shadows.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously humanity is the best. Humanity never does anything wrong. Just ignore Buster for a little bit. And the vice president who made it so that he could become president. And discount Rod Sterling. And Justin.
Anyone else?
Talia? No, not Talia. The blonde one.
Blonde one.
It was Talia. Yeah. Yeah, because the redhead is Lita. Yeah, so Talia. Look at me, I got the name right and then doubted myself.
She had her personality erased.
So she went bad.
Was it her fault though?
Omni
says President Clark is innocent.
It was just those nasty news reporters, right?
Oh yeah, ISN. You got to watch out for those reporters.
Yeah,
I tell you,
those crazy right-wing fake news sites who tell you that the government is attacking. Fake news. No.
Exactly. Omni says exactly. #fake news.
Later, Gary.
Take care.
Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. If you're new here, hello. You're probably very confused on why a Babylon 5 review show has no Babylon 5, but a lot of me rambling. Understandable.
Babylon 5, Babylon 5.
So the way we do this, I'm going to. I already have. I'm on top of this for once. I've shared a link to our screening room. Come join us. The screening room is only active right now during this stream. If you try to come there later, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. If you're here later, you're going to need your own copy of Babylon 5. That means you either need to have an account like Amazon Prime, where you can watch it for free with no commercials, provided you pay the extra money for no commercials. You can watch it on Tubi TV, or you can watch it on the Roku. Or my personal recommendation is you go out and buy the physical media, which it's usually around $70 for all 5 seasons on Amazon.
Lately, it's been much more expensive, around 100.
So it was super discounted for Cyber Monday. It was like $55.
It was as low as 45 or 46, something like that.
Yeah, so it was super reduced price. So at $100, hold tight, everyone. If that's where it is right now, give it a couple weeks. Hopefully it comes down for Christmas time. Hopefully it comes down just after Christmas time. Actually, we're at Christmas time.
It's been at 98 for a couple weeks now.
Hopefully that comes back down soon. But $100, that's a little hard for me to justify getting it. Enjoy it on Tubi TV, enjoy it on Roku, and hold tight. Eventually it will be on sale again, and when it's on sale, go get it. It's a great series. I certainly recommend it. If excuse me, you're here right now and
Bless
you can join us in the screen room, we got you covered. Right down below, I have some clips, and this is just a still image. One new image every 7 to 9 seconds will show up here, no sound, and it's just so that you can have a reference for what's happening, and hopefully that I'm talking about as it's going on. This is the first time I've ever watched this episode. I know absolutely nothing going into this episode, and it's just I'm going to be telling you what's going on, and then at the end we'll do a bit of talking about the episode. So let me go ahead and get this started, and then once we get to the opening scene, I'm going to have to run off. I'm going to get a cough drop or something because I can feel my voice going quick here. So it might be a little bit quiet. Sorry for anyone if this is your first stream and I'm kind of quiet, but I'll do my best. So if you're here in the future, and you want to watch on your own stuff, I'll give us a quick 3 countdown so that we can sync up our watch times together. So let's go ahead and do that. 3, 2, 1. Hit that play button, everyone.
Now, this scene was actually filmed for the prior episode, but they cut it for time. They inserted it here.
So Ivanova is wanting to borrow a White Star ship. And she says she's going to have it back by the time that that Dolores wants to enact her plan. And she's been learning Mbari, which is something that Strider over there was encouraging her to do. And she's saying she got close. She got close.
Well,
full power, engines on. Something about rat lace lingerie. She kind of lost it by the end. And they're very diplomatic. Oh, you did quite well. But in the heat of battle, it can take a few seconds to translate. It's no trouble at all. I'll go with you. I'd love to. Exactly, Josh. Like me trying to say the right names. And so Dolores comes up and she says, "Tell the crew that anyone who laughs will answer to me personally."
Centauri Prime.
Meanwhile, on the Centauri homeworld, the Emperor is just insane. 100% insane.
What would make you say that?
He has a bunch of heads of the people that have offended him that he talks to at nighttime, and he has managed to capture Jakar. And Jakar and Londo have started to come to an understanding that as long as Jakar can endure, that Londo will eventually be able to get him out. And so they're offering him a drink of water, but he's like, all you have to do is ask nicely. And he refuses. He just sits there stoically.
Not only get him out, but kill the Emperor and free Narn.
And Londo is actually filled with a compassion, it looks like. That he didn't like Jakar, but he didn't want to see him humiliated like this. Okay, I'm going to be right back.
I just love this title sequence. Very exciting. A lot of space battles. You got all the characters speaking, which you hadn't had in the past title sequences. I love the split shots. It's just a very exciting. The music is up tempo. It's wonderful. Romney says it's almost as good as season one intro. I think it's better actually. And yeah, Texas, note the crown of thorns that Shakar had. I just love this fly by the station with the star period. It's just beautiful. And Matthew's back
Just in time.
for the summoning.
The summoning of whom, though? Okay, so Delena is letting us know that it's been over 2 weeks since John went missing. And Jakar's gone searching for Mr. Garibaldi, which was just a fantastic line in the last episode. Jakar's been captured. He's before the Mad King. And he says, "Do you by any chance happen to know whatever happened to Mr. Garibaldi?"
Who? That's the Emperor.
So Ivanova's out looking for the first ones, like Zog.
And they just spoke about Zog right there. And no, Thomas, not John DeMarco.
Did they say where they are right now?
I think they did, but where?
And so they're saying they've heard reports of these amazing people being at this place. And he's like, well, since you and I weren't there, it can only be the first ones. And Ivanova's like, hey, having delusions of grandeur. And Strider goes, well, if you're going to have delusions, they might at least be grand ones. Maybe the really
I
good
think he
ones.
I think he mentioned godlike people or entities. And I think it's interesting. We have Dolores in CNC. She's kind of running things. John's gone. Uh, Ivanova's gone. Garibaldi's gone. She's up there running things at in CNC.
I think these CGI mats still hold up. They
Pretty
don't.
good. Most of them do. Most of them are.
They didn't look any worse than like the CGI mats they did for Cardassia Prime or Bajor throughout most of DS9. But Zach, he comes up and he was asking uh, Dolores if he could have permission to go search for Garibaldi. But he was recognizing the reality that he could look for Garibaldi or he could look for Jakar, but he can't do both. And she told him to go ahead and look for Garibaldi, to follow this lead that he got.
Careful. Fear. Thomas says, President Clark is right. Aliens are running B5. Ooh.
And so Veer was just saying, like, oh, there's got to be a way to get through to him. Can't be completely unreasonable. And right then, the Emperor comes out, and his hands just drenched red, and what I'm sure is just paint.
Yeah.
And saying, I was hoping that my best torturer would be able to get information, but, he's not even giving me a scream. And so I decided, I decided to take care of him, step in myself. And and so he's like, toward the end of the session, I was thinking maybe I'll cut off his hands. That'll get a reaction. And Veer's like, no, you didn't actually. He goes, no, he passed out on me. So he's he's being very ineffective in cleaning his hands, but he dries them off technically and like tosses the towel, and just it goes right over his attendant's shoulder. And the
Oof.
attendant makes a half-hearted attempt to catch it.
So if the Emperor doesn't get a stream from Jakar, he's going to kill him.
And Veer's saying, remember what I said before about there must be never another way? Never mind, kill him.
That's very unveer like.
Well, you know what they say, something about evil evil runs when good men. Oh, how's that go from Doctor Who? When good men run, or
Good men go to war.
good men go to war.
I'm trying to remember the quote.
It was in the episode um, with Amy Pond when she has her baby, and you find out that it's River Song, and the name of the ship that they were on was named like Devil's Run or something. Oh yeah, super trustworthy guy. I feel really good about Posh.
So Posh made her get rid of almost everything except a mattress.
And that was a barest concession due to human necessity for sleep.
Demons run when a good man goes to war, says Kay Roberts.
There we go. So Delin is trying to see if Posh should be up in the Vorlons for joining her in this battle. And she says, well, surely the Vorlons would be all in for attacking the Shadows. And Lita says, I think the Vorlons have their own plans. And she's kind of afraid to ask. And it seems like the game just got bigger than this war between the light and the shadows.
Hey, Mercer. And no, just one episode tonight.
And Lita's saying, you don't know what this new Vorlon is like.
Going back to Doctor Who, I think good man refers to Rory, not the doctor.
Mm-hmm. Rory was the best. So Zach is tracking down this lead of where he thinks maybe he could find Garibaldi. And they're following the ship, and he's giving them the last warning, like, you know, stand down or else we'll be forced to stop you, sort of thing. No response. So he tells them just to target the engines.
Ooh.
And so they launch a life pod, and Zach is thinking maybe it's a distraction. We're not going to be going after chase it, but then the ship blows up. So presumably someone's on that life pod. That, or there was something that they really didn't want to be found.
Thomas, you can't hear us because of the background of the episode playing? Oh, never mind, he says. Oh,
Was your tab muted? So we got Summon and Saran Wrap.
a lot of saran wrap.
Is that Garibaldi?
Yes, it is.
Ooh, and we hear a computer voice saying contact confirmed, initiating program.
Thomas thinks his Wi-Fi at work is having issues. I wish I could watch TV at work or YouTube.
And so we actually got Garibaldi back. I definitely was not expecting this.
Oh, you thought he'd be with Buster.
I did.
They would want to stay to try to figure out his memories.
Yeah, because we definitely had like a preconditioned response from him where he doesn't remember what happened from the time he was taken by the shadows to the time he was picked up by someone else. And the more they question about that, the more they question Garibaldi about that, the more like he was becoming unhinged. So it definitely seems like he's been programmed for something. It might be a little delayed, Thomas. I really haven't been able to check much. I guess at all. It's the first time streaming back on this PC.
Yeah, right. Oh, me. That was a little rough.
So Lita was saying that by pulling out of her that quickly, he hurt her, and she's saying, "What's going on here?" I and she said, "I've let you people modify me. I I let you enhance my telepathic abilities so that I'd be more suited for the work."
Hmm. So is she still a P5?
And she's saying, Kosh, the real Kosh, he actually cared about us, but it just seems like I'm a tool to use. And she's saying, I've earned respect from you. And he says, respect from whom?
Ooh.
And so she starts to take a telepathic swing at him, it looks like. But he knocks her against the wall and says, would you know my thoughts? Would you? And then, like, you hear her scream. And so Londo is saying, can you just cry out a little bit? At this rate, you're going to get killed because he said he's going to kill you if you don't cry out. He said, what I need is a live ally, not a dead martyr. And Jakar says, if I cried out, I would no longer be a Narn. And Londo says, well, if you're dead, would you be a Narn then? He said, no, you'll just be food for his pets. For Emperor Cartage's pets. And all you have to do is give one little scream, and then we both get what we want. But Jakar says, no, you don't understand what you're asking. And Londo's saying that he absolutely understands what he's asking. Which one, I get the feeling that he's kind of saying like he's having to make the same compromises to his own morals, or recognizes that he has already made those compromises. But two, he was yelling pretty loudly right next to the door guard. You think the door guard might report what's going on in there? And so Strider's saying, once the war is done, what would you like to do? And she's saying, I'd like to go to St. Petersburg, travel, see my dad's grave, which is a nice touch. She comments that she wasn't able to go at the time. She wasn't ready for that. And so he's saying, is there anyone you plan on doing it with? She goes, no. What about you? He goes, yeah, but she doesn't know it yet. And she's like, oh, that's a strange way to pursue a relationship.
So I think it's kind of obvious who he's talking about. Saying that, she's kind of naive.
And so she's like, I haven't felt that way since the my first relationship. And he goes, well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And she goes, what? You've never, you're a, and the answer is that he's never been in a relationship. Yes, he's still single, and they're not asking about anything else, I'm sure. And so they've found a disturbance in the force. Uh,
Okay.
it's like a fold in hyperspace, which is an interesting concept that the first ones perhaps are hidden away, not just outside of regular space, but even outside of hyperspace.
I think the music in this episode is fantastic. Has a season one vibe to it.
I think they found someone.
Yeah.
Maybe the Vorlons.
Oh, it sure looks like they're ships.
Might explain what the Vorlons are up to, that and why they're not available. And so this is from last week's episode,
Yep.
2 weeks ago episode. But they're just asking him over and over again, what happened, what happened, what happened. And then he started to throw a temper tantrum, and they gassed him. But what happened? Is he a sleeper agent? Well, yeah. I mean, they mentioned initiating program, so I think a sleeper agent is a safe bet. But when he says the word, he says the phrase, "Do you remember anything that happened to you after you left?" And Garibaldi says, "No, I don't remember anything." 2 weeks. Where's Sheridan?
Hmm. What was that ship?
I don't remember this alien.
He says that's a Technomage mothership. But of course,
And so this is saying that the League of Non-Aligned Worlds, the people that haven't agreed to go along with her plan, are trying to set up a protest, a big rally. And she's saying even though it goes against her wishes, that they have to be able to speak their mind, even though it's going against their own interests. And so apparently there's some unknown ship moving through hyperspace headed for Babylon 5, but they don't know what it is. Well, we'll find out soon enough if it's headed for Babylon 5.
By the way, that species is the Brakiri.
Okay. The name sounds familiar. So Veer and Londo have been summoned somewhere late at night. And the guard opens up a secret passageway. And Veer and Londo are both like, no, you first. No, you first.
I wouldn't want to go in.
And it's the Emperor's private place. It's where he comes to think. He's saying that very few who come in here ever leave again. And there's Jakar. Yeah, stage lightning. Yeah, so it's a Ferengi Electro Whip.
Hmm.
And it's designed such that it increases the charge and pain it gives someone with each whip. And after 40 whips, it will kill the person. All he needs is his scream. One little scream. And I would say this is the perfect opportunity to take down the Emperor. I mean, he's all by himself. The guard is rather isolated. He's busy.
I think Londo has to come out of this alive. I don't think the guard would let him.
I mean, they could easily kill him and the guard, claim that Jakar did it. They're up to 32. And Londo whispers, please, or mouths, please. And on number 40, Jakar screams out.
Before 40.
Oh, okay. He said I was counting one behind. Okay, so before the last fatal whip. True, Texas. I guess that's fair. That if a Narn kills a Centauri, and especially the Emperor, that would definitely have repercussions.
The 40 whipping, um, that could be biblical from Deuteronomy. It warns against whipping a man more than 40 times. More than that will cause one to lose respect of one's brothers. What's Lanier up to?
Got a little Dutch angle going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and everyone's coming aboard for this protest gathering. Yeah, I don't feel like a Vorlon fleet that size would use jump gate.
Probably not.
And so they try to hail it, but it doesn't respond, and it uses their own docking codes. They somehow it has the access codes as it comes in. Garibaldi got a much needed shave. That might be a little bit on the soon side for him to resume active duty.
Probably so.
Maybe it's Babylon 1. So he blabs the news that he said, I got to tell you the truth because the Minbari never do. You hear people in the background, yeah, that's right. But he tells them that the Minbari are preparing to launch an attack against the homeworld of the shadows, putting all of your lives at risk. Oh, the Drazi. He's saying that we believe that we can find a peaceful solution. There's been no new attacks, and the Minbari are about to put all of us at jeopardy. Which just goes to show they really don't know their history very well. But what's going on with Sheridan during all this? He's almost dead on the planet? And so this guy is saying that it's been 1,000 years since the last war, so if we do nothing to provoke him, maybe it'll be another 1,000 years before the next one. And he's saying, you can't attack Zahadum. No one has ever exceeded. Sheridan died trying to attack it. Which it's gonna be Sheridan. It's gotta be Sheridan coming up the steps right now. Sheridan, the one who did attack Zahadum and returned alive.
There he is.
Yeah, there we go. We're sorry, we thought you were dead. He says, yeah, it was. I'm better now. Ooh, and we got the guy from the planet. And Delin looks conflicted. And saying, I have seen the face of the enemy, and they're ugly. Yeah, it wasn't Sheridan, it was Mr. Worf. He's saying that together we're gonna form the largest fleet in the galaxy, not just to win a battle, but to change the face of the universe. Yeah, for all of Cardassia. He's saying if we can fight and we can win for my sons, for all of our sons, that all of us can have an Independence Day. And Lanier is smiling pretty subtly there. Dolores in complete shock. I wasn't sure if her look on her face was complete disbelief um at seeing him, or if she somehow recognized the guy that he had freed and brought with him from Zahadum and was horrified
I,
to see him out of Zahadum.
I think she was finally resigning to the fact that he might be dead, and then suddenly he's there.
Yeah, Thomas, for Frodo. And Lita's not doing well.
Josh asked me, "Did Anna make it back from Sahadum?" Well, kinda. Her body did.
So Shepard's giving a quick rundown of what we learned from Justin. That when the first ones ascended, that two races stayed behind. And that they took, as Linear saying, diametrically opposite positions. And that initially they respected one another's positions. They had rules of engagement. And here we get the official name, Lorien. And Gary Wally's getting too old for this stuff. And so it's a bit of a change since the last time we saw Garibaldi, where he had complete trust in Sheridan, and now he's upset about secrets on top of secrets. And I'm not sure when it changed, but at some point, the shadows and the uh, the Vorlons
Orlons.
started to be more direct in their engagement. But that explains why up till now the Vorlons have been reluctant to actually open fire. It's not just that they've been hiding, it's that there's been rules of engagement. And so they're saying how when they were in hyperspace, they came across not just hundreds, but thousands of Vorlon ships, some 3 or 4 miles in length. And they're saying that there's a Shadow Spiders base on Arcata 7, and it's not there anymore. And Lanier goes, the base? And they say, no, the planet. And there are over 4 million people on Arcata 7. But it seems like the Vorlons are taking the position that it's time to wipe out anyone who's even slightly associated with them.
which, which is a lot of the galaxy, actually.
And he's saying that we need to figure out how to stop them, because if you don't, like, we're already struggling with the Shadow Spiders, but we can't defeat the Shadows and the Vorlons. But if we don't, then there's not going to be a single living person in a 70 light year radius. So,
Mm,
quite the turn of events from the Vorlons.
indeed.
Talking about them being a little grumpy as of late. So thoughts, Jeff?
This is just a roller coaster of a ride on season 4, and it just makes you want to watch the next episode now.
It does.
I mean, I've talked about how serialized the show is, and to start with, it was kind of serialized. It was kind of like DS9, how it was going, where you had this backstory going on, but you had a lot of individual episodes that there were some ties between episodes, but it wasn't serialized where you had one episode leading right into the next one and the next one and the next one. We're getting that now in season 4, and it's just fantastic. So many episodes just strung together under one writer. All of season 3 and 4 was completely written by JMS, and he's just doing a masterful job with these episodes. There's hardly any episodes that are down episodes in this season, so you're gonna hear me be like a broken record for a while, where I'm just saying how good these things are, because they are really fantastic. But we're getting a continuation of the storyline here. We got Mr. Garibaldi back. We got the captain back. We have Lorienne joining in
Orion.
now. We've got the Vorlons. We know their plans, what they're doing. They're wiping out pretty much any association with the shadows. They don't care. They don't care who's caught in the middle. The stakes are amped up very high now. You got the shadows. What are they doing? They're not doing much right now, but will they? You know they're going to respond, especially with one of their bases just wiped out. So you've got two gigantic, colossal races going at each other. Everyone else is caught in the middle. What's going to happen? How are they going to stop all this? That's the question. And what's going on with Mr. Garibaldi? Seems he's programmed in some way. But what's he doing? How is he programmed? What's his mission, so to speak? The program.
Right.
And then you got Jakar and Londo on Centauri Prime, and with the Mad Emperor. They want to take him out. They want to free Narn. How are they going to do it? How are they going to trick the Emperor to get in a position where they can off him? A lot going on right now, and it's all good. All great stuff.
It is, and I definitely like the fact that Jakar was able to both let out a scream and preserve his dignity by holding out
Yeah.
for the last whip.
He knew for his people that he needed to do that. He sacrificed his own honor so he could save his people. And this kind of ties back into a season one episode, Parliament of Dreams, where Jakar had these pain givers that were put on him, and he refused to yell and scream out when he was receiving pain from them.
When was this?
Season one, Parliament of Dreams. It's when the Blood Oath was the guy that was hunting him down, the Narn that came on the station, and he was out to kill Jakar because of a blood oath.
He reads that thing. You will feel pain, and then you'll die.
Yeah, the guy with glasses is
Okay.
the only Narn we've seen with glasses. So it kind of ties in with that. It's a nice callback. Omni says, "You will know fear, you will know pain, then you will die."
I'm sorry. Did y'all hear my cough just there?
No?
Okay. I saw right after I coughed. I tried to mute it, but right after I coughed, I saw a spike on one of my volume meters, which is coincidental.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that was a nice callback. Fantastic episode.
Yeah, this series is so well written, so tightly joined together, and all of its little uh, intricacies. So you get callbacks like that, and you'll notice more and more of them as you rewatch the series. It's
So
just begging for a rewatch, and then another one, because you'll just keep making connections.
so every season has a season name for it. After this episode, looking at the list of episodes, and there's also an episode with that name in each season.
Yeah.
By any chance, is this season called Between the Darkness and the Light?
No.
Ah. Okay. We'll see if I can't guess it as time goes on here. Or if I miss it, you can just say, well, you missed it, Matt. We already got the title name. Yeah, the title of the series was What Happened to Mr. Garibaldi?
No.
I
And
feel
from
like they
this point
usually
forward,
have it around the middle, but
any episode that you mentioned tonight, I'll say no, even if you got it right, because I don't want you to keep guessing.
okay. Well, no. So, like after what we just saw, I could very much see the central conflict for the rest of the season being the fact that they are caught between the darkness and the light, between the shadows and the Vorlons. That somehow they need to deal with the Vorlon situation, who, as they were saying at the end here, they are wiping out anyone who has even the slightest affiliation, the slightest taint of the shadows, that they are done pussyfooting around. They're like, you know what? We're going to take care of this problem. And we're not going to ever have to worry about this war ever again. None of this 1,000-year cyclical nonsense. We're done. Which is, it's interesting because it's kind of more of the shadow philosophy than the Vorlon's philosophy this whole time.
The shadows are all about chaos and the fittest races overcoming the weaker ones.
Mm-hmm.
The Vorlons right now they're just saying wipe out everybody that's associated with the other side.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's quite the same.
I guess it's just such a violent path. They've gone from pacifism or near pacifism, a path of trying to seek enlightenment, to a path of, well, We couldn't get enlightenment, so let's just wipe them all out. So I could see it being. I could have seen that being the title of the series. I mean, and to be fair, I do know that they tend to have the season name being around the midpoint. At least that's how they've done it so far with the first 3 seasons. Around the midpoint, we'll get a double parter sort of episode, and that'll be the episode name. I mean, looking at the list here, I don't see any 2-parters in the middle of this season. But frankly, I almost said Franklin-y. Frankly, every episode is just so interconnected to the next one. It's almost pointless to have a 2-parter. It's like they're all 2-parters.
It's almost like a 22-parter.
Yeah, that's it. A 22-parter.
So there are two schools of thought on why the Vorlons have changed strategies. Number one, Posh said that an unexpected door was opened by Sheridan on Zahadum that may have led them to change their strategy. The other one is that they finally realized that the shadows are a hindrance to how they think things should be, and they're thinking, well, they just have to wipe out the other side to get their way.
How did they describe the Vorlon philosophy? Like I get the chaos one, survival of the fittest. That one's easy to remember. We've been watching this whole time. But what was the Vorlons? Just through guidance?
Guidance, yeah, they're like shepherds or parents to the younger races, guiding them and bringing them up. Obedience, that's their philosophy. Vorlon
And
is
obviously,
order, says Omni.
yeah. Order versus chaos. Okay.
Yeah, order and discipline, says K. Roberts. Obedience brings victory. Hi,
And
John.
victory is life.
Victory is life, indeed. Um, One interesting thing about this episode, this is the first time since the pilot episode, The Gathering, that every name in the main credits, every character in the main credits appeared in the episode. Every
Really?
actor, yeah, every actor in the main credits appeared in this episode, the first time since the pilot,
It's a gathering.
since The Gathering. That
That
that episode we hour and a half episode we watched a year and a half ago, a little almost 2 years ago now.
when was that? Or what season was that?
That was before season one.
Oh.
It was very first story we watched, The Gathering.
Okay. There we go. I have it. Sorry, the way I organize my media files, I had it in a folder called specials, since it's not technically part of season one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't see it anywhere. That's because you're an idiot, Matt.
Thomas is not too difficult with the massive absence of Kefir.
For
Well,
one season.
well,
But no, I'm honestly shocked. I would have thought that at the very least, like the first episode of the first season, like the first legitimate episode, we would have touched base with everyone. I know you're right, for the record. I'm just shocked.
that episode, I don't think Dr. Franklin was on, and I don't think they introduced Lanier yet. Where he serves.
So I am interested to see more information on who this the Lori is, the Lori guy.
Lorien.
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 And how was he able to get off the planet? How is Sheridan able to get off the planet? I'm assuming we'll get a bit of a backstory on that hopefully next week or 2 weeks from now. We're going to be off next week, but 2 weeks from now.
Well, we already know that he claims to be the first one,
Right.
and they were in that ship that was going through hyperspace.
Right. Excuse me.
So he must have had a ship or access to a ship. Oh, okay,
I
Robert
just
says Lorian, inventor of the DeLorean.
I just got the impression excuse me, that he was somehow trapped on that planet. That the energy field that he had used to catch Sheridan. Well, first he caught him, and then Sheridan had to let go and go through that energy field. And I got the impression that the energy field was
Wrote
actually
a
keeping
doc.
him prisoner there. Um,
Never got that impression that he was a prisoner there. I think he was just waiting for someone to find him.
and Texas is confirming it. He's saying Lorian did say he could have left Zahadum if he wanted to. And yes, Josh, they did mention that the reason the shadows keep coming to Zahadum is they think that they are somehow honoring Lorian by doing so. I can see it being a
And
complicated relationship.
apparently the Vorlons are aware of him too. He said he knew Kosh. And that might have led to Posh's comment about an unexpected door being open.
And it's interesting that either the unexpected door is that by weakening the shadow spiders by blowing up Zahadum, well, the biggest city on Zahadum, excuse me, that the Vorlons are like, this is our chance, we just gained a strategic advantage. Or if they feel that the universe is tipping too much chaos, that Sheridan's actions represent too much chaos to be able to control.
Hmm.
They could be
That's
offended that somehow did something to Zahadum where Lorian was. I don't know. We'll get more information eventually, I'm sure.
an interesting thought. Now, we saw the future of Centauri Prime on War Without End,
We did.
uh, and how the planet seems to have suffered an attack, fires raging, and that sort of thing. Could some of that have been because of the Vorlons attacking Centauri Prime
Hmm.
because they've been essentially, touched by shadows?
So I would assume not, but I'm kind of making inference when Londo mentioned that when the shadows were defeated, their allies came to Centauri. And I got the impression that it was the allies of the shadows who had actually done this.
But could have been part of what happened.
Maybe.
So Kay Roberts wants to know, will the shadows now follow Lorian to the station since he's on B5 now?
Ooh, or will they no longer attack B5 because Lorian is there?
Uh,
Yeah, Joel, 20 years is a long time to put out a fire. But, I mean, maybe they're continually being made.
so what do you think of the scenes between Ivanova and uh, Strider? I'm trying to translate names here because names for different people.
So, Marcus, I can usually get there. So, between Marcus and Ivanova, um, I think it's endearing. I think that he definitely he's being painted as someone who has a puppy love first crush. on Ivanova. And I get the feeling like it's always been one-sided, which we've gotten some great comedy from, like when she gave him the really fancy roses and she's like, here, you keep them. He's like, well, thank you, I will. But just I get the feeling that it's gonna go unrequited. That if / when she finds out that he has a crush on her, I think she's gonna be flattered, but I don't think she's gonna reciprocate. Just kind of based on her current responses.
She seems a bit naive about the whole thing.
She does. I definitely got the feeling it was that she's missing it. That she's, some people in that situation, they might be like, oh, who is it? Oh, that's so nice. Kind of like, I know you're talking about me, but I'm going to feign ignorance because I'm trying to like be gentle here and just not. But I got the feeling that Ivanova was genuinely clueless about what he was trying to tell her. Yeah, okay, Roberts. Maybe she can show him the boom shakalaka.
Josh is saying that Londo said it was Sheridan and his alliance attacked when they went after the Shadows' allies. I don't think he said that specifically. I got the more of an impression that it was that the alliance or Sheridan let it happen.
Controls the universe.
And thank you to Elrond. He said, what? Aragorn is cheating on my daughter? Different Strider. This Strider has a much more filled out beard. Fuller hair, too.
Who is that super chat from?
Elrond. Elrond.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be Elrond.
Right.
It's just, it's hard to get a Palantir to send a super chat in the first place. And so some letters got mixed up.
Now,
Texas. Ivanova is much more direct. That's why I don't think she's like trying to play it off as being naive. I think she's legitimately clueless.
Yeah, she's usually very direct. Now, I'm wondering what Kosh would think of the change in strategy of the Vorlons.
In this episode, Lita made a comment about how Kosh seemed to genuinely care about humanity. Whereas Posh seems just, whatever. Your tool, I'm going to use you to the fullest extent. And when you die, I'm just going to get a new tool. And it seems like without Kosh, it seems like the Vorlons are being a lot more cold-hearted. That I could see Kosh being a kind of a voice for compassion. But it also, if it turns out where they are different aspects of the same individual and they're just breaking off pieces after piece after piece of themselves, if the compassion piece were to die, that would radically change what's left over.
That's interesting that you think there's splitting off piece after piece after piece. Now, we actually have seen two Vorlons together at the same time. So did they split themselves off and they're both pieces are there in their own encounter suits?
That is this is just an idea I'm playing with. I'm trying to see if more evidence for it appears. But my working assumption is that if you had the singular Vorlon at some point in the past, and then he split himself into two different pieces and didn't reunite. So now you have these two different parts of himself in two different encounter suits, and just kind of breaking off piece after piece of himself to have
So
all these different Vorlons out there.
that's how they reproduce.
Could be. Or it's like
Thomas thinks you're nuts.
well, I am, but why?
I'm going to guess your idea of a Vorlon splitting itself off piece after piece after piece.
So Kosh was a toe? No, he just wasn't whole.
John wants to know how the techno mages relate to this theory.
So different people. But no, so in my theory, which I admit is out there, but in my theory, it'd be like, what if you had your spirit? And so you took your spirit and split it in half. It's not that now you grow two full versions of yourself. It's that each one is half of the original. And then you keep splitting that and splitting that. And so each one is a mere shadow of what the whole would be.
Ooh, shadow.
Ooh, I said the word of the day. Whoa.
So Thomas says maybe they can merge the severely damaged Vorlon.
The techno mages, yes, that's how it all comes back together.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's an interesting theory. Once they said they could break pieces of them off to get to places they couldn't usually. I'm like, oh, it'd be interesting if we had some of that going on.
Regardless, under warranty, asked Joel.
Maybe. I don't know how long a Vorlon warranty would last.
One other thing I think was interesting, Dolores rather, toward the beginning of the episode, she states that she's lost everyone that she cares about. What about Lanier? Doesn't she care about Lanier?
Well, when you're going through grief or you're going through a major life change, you often allow your current perception of reality to rewrite the past. And this is something I've seen people do, like in real life, quite a bit, where because they're in a spot of doubt right now, they say, well, I've actually always been in doubt. I've always been suppressing who I was. So I could see that she, in a state of distress and sorrow, is focusing on that to the extent that she's forgetting what she still had.
That's plausible. I like that idea. John says Dolores was undoubtedly devastated by the loss of Kefir.
He was the best of us all, John.
Sure she was, John. I'm sure.
If Kefir hadn't been lost, Dr. Franklin never would have had the stem problems.
Right.
Garibaldi wouldn't have been captured.
Personally, I think he was flying the Star Fury in the credits, going by the station there at the end.
Lives on somehow.
Indeed.
I mean, honestly, it was probably the reason Lanier wasn't mentioned is it didn't fit the tone, and I could see JMS just forgetting, like, oh, she's lost her friendships with Jakar and Garibaldi and this and that, and let's focus on that. And oh, I guess I forgot she does still have Lanier, who's right next to her, but it's okay. It fits with the theme of the opening. But an in-universe reason, just sorrow.
And he had some interesting looks when Sheridan showed up at the end.
He did. I mean, a bit of a bittersweet smile at the end.
And was he happy that he survived and came back, or was he sad that he knows that he has a relationship with Dolores and he doesn't like that? Oh no, he's back. Oh,
But he was glad to see Dolores smiling.
true. He cares deeply for Dolores.
Trying to think what
Hey,
else
He
we
he
saw in this
he he
episode.
mentioned he mentioned in a prior episode that he has love for Dolores, but not in the same way as like a romantic love.
That was in the episode where everyone was confessing uh, their a secret they'd never told anyone, and he and
Yeah.
um
Mm.
he and Strider were in that bar
Strider,
fight. He's like, "Well, I gotta confess something I've never told anyone anyway, so might as well make this it, buddy."
right? Texas says, yeah, Marcus didn't believe him.
Minbari can't lie unless
Can't
it's to
they?
protect the honor of someone else.
It's really true.
Well, let me make a quick prediction about next week, and then I'm gonna let my voice rest here.
Okay.
Next week is season 4, episode 4, falling toward apotheosis. Apotheosis, excuse me, is basically like achieving godhood. So I could see, this going two ways. I could see this really be, excuse me. I could see this really being an episode where we find out how Sheridan got off Zahadum, what happened after he died, and I think that makes the most sense for the record. That you know what? I'm gonna say it's both my ideas. I'm gonna say that the A plot is going to be how Sheridan, he was dead and he came toward Lorien, and just the process of coming back, got better, and then leaving the planet. Meanwhile, the B plot is going to be the Emperor Kartaja, and how he believes that he is going to achieve godhood. He mentioned in the past where the deal that he's making with the Shadow Spiders is that at the end of this, he thinks he's going to basically become a god. And so we're going to be following along with Jakar and Londo and Veer as they watch the Emperor, as he thinks he's heading toward godhood, and just him spiraling toward deeper and deeper into insanity. Meanwhile, you're going to have Sheridan, who is effectively falling toward someone that many people would revere as a god. And so they're going to be working off these two thoughts together to have this play on the word, or play on words in the title. That's my theory for 2 weeks from now when we meet back up. Which next week, it is Christmas week, so everyone have a fantastic Christmas time. We'll miss you,
everyone.
but it is Christmas time, so people are going to be traveling. Sorry.
True.
The week after that, look forward to a double hitter. We're going to have our stream on Tuesday, and then on Thursday, we're going to have the virtual pub. That's going to be January the 1st at 9 p.m. Get your streaming equipment ready. Find some sci-fi topics, fantasy topics to talk about. No politics. That's not what the pub's about. And get ready to have a tremendously fun time for however long I can stay awake. So probably 9 to midnight-ish tops.
So 9 p.m. Central Matthew time.
9 p.m. Central Matthew time.
So that's 10 p.m. Eastern.
So everyone, thank you so much for joining us this week. Sorry, my voice sounds a little bit weird. Hopefully by the next time we meet, everything will be back to tip-top shape. I look forward to seeing you.
Oh. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to hit that like button and share it with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will. And be sure to hit that bell icon to be notified of all the updates I do on this channel. If you want to support the work I'm doing here, then I hope you'll consider becoming one of my Patreons, where you'll get early access to all kinds of videos. And until the next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.